Hi guys. Alright, so today's talk is basically a great question that was asked that I thought I might clarify. Today's question was, why is God treated like it's outside of you? And why, when sometimes we read some of these books or what have you, it feels as if God's outside of you. And so I'd like to help clarify why that is, why it seems that way, and what exactly they were referring to back in the day, and why we have the concept of a Skydaddy. Because almost everybody knows there's no such thing as a Skydaddy, and those of us that believe in a Skydaddy feel pretty silly when called out on the Skydaddy, because there is no such thing, right? So what exactly what they meant? Well, first of all, the Middle Eastern culture back in the day uses symbolic pictures and symbolic things to represent ideas. So the infinite consciousness was usually referred to as the sky, right? So it's like above, as above. Now, the rest of that equation, as above and so below, isn't translated perfectly. I know we have the idea that it's a reflection, but it's more like the above is the below and the below is the above, or the inside and the outside are the same thing. So what you guys are confused about when you say God feels like it's outside of me, or what it is referring to, is quite simple, okay? The outside that you think you are seeing, this is the inside of your actual body, the universe. It's not outside. It's on the inside. That's your whole body, okay? And this shell right here that you call Cindy, or that Jen would call Jen, or that, you know, or anybody, you guys get where I'm going with this, right? This outer shell is the outermost illusion and a very small percentage of what you are. It is the last thing that you are. This is the veil. So the outside is the inside is the outside. And so when we refer to things as if they're outside, technically they're inside our true body, our true nature. Okay? So it's not about a Skydaddy. All right, to recap, it's not about a Skydaddy at all, because what they were referring to is the infiniteness of consciousness when they were referring to the sky. And secondly, okay, the inside and the outside are the exact same thing. They are one another. So your true body is the universe, and although it appears outside of you, it is not. Your actual body is the outer outline of the veil that separates you from your illusion of yourself. At the highest level of your existence, you cannot be divided. So the only way that this works is we fall into a deep sleep, and we pretend, okay, to be alive and separate. And this is the only way this works, okay? And so as such, your outer illusion, the outermost aspect of your illusion, is the tiniest percentage of what you are. Your actual body is the whole universe, okay? Next, I'd like to address the most ignorant statement that was made on one of my posts. And by ignorant, it is not his fault. He doesn't know, and he's a byproduct of society talking shit in his ear. And what he said was, I just can't get over the fact that God has a penis. And the truth is, and this is why I'm making this video, because if I would have responded exactly like I was thinking, it probably would have taken wrong. But God doesn't have any more of a penis than that man has. Okay? I'm not calling him dickless. I'm saying he's not his body. Okay? And someone who's awoken from the dream understands that consciousness, that which is referred to as Father of everything, is referred to as such because nothing exists without consciousness. So there is no penis involved. The Father, okay? I gotta address ignorance. I can't, because he's not alone. And I'm really appreciative of that silly comment, because I was like, oh God, you're the people I'm trying to reach. Whew. Yeah. Okay? So God has no more of a penis than that gentleman who brought up that comment. Okay? That is not an insult. Okay? But consciousness, that which is your true nature, that which animates your body, that is fake, okay? That is the father of everything. Call it a mother if you want, it doesn't matter. God used to separate the two. Jesus Christ used to separate the two and call the Holy Spirit his mother and the Father his consciousness. And both were aspects of God. They are both genderless, but the nature of one is feminine, where the other is masculine in terms of energy, thoughts, and consciousness, and what you can come up with, the light inside of you. This is masculine in nature, consciousness. Okay? Then the feminine, or that which is everything on display that is your body, that is feeling related, because feelings moves consciousness. This is where the feminine and the masculine unite. Okay, both of these are genderless forces inside of you. You choose to represent one or the other, and then when you unite into a relationship with another human being, what you're seeing is the counterpart energy. I explain this in my mastermind. The whole reason that you think you are in love with someone, okay, it's not legitimately love until you understand that it is you that you are in love with. So if you have obsessive feelings and all of this stuff, this is not love. I am so sorry. That bullshit is not. That obsession, okay, is not love at all. That obsession is with yourself and yourself alone. And until that bridge is gapped, you can see how we are both, and how we embody both, and how when we choose a partner, we are choosing based on qualities that we have forgotten are within us. So we are still seeking ourselves so that we can see our whole selves in the mirror. Now, neither just because you're feminine, okay, or just because you're masculine, okay, you still have both of these things inside of you. Your feeling nature is feminine, your consciousness is masculine. These qualities are inside every single body. This is the image that is God that you are made in. So if that were the original copy, everybody else is the exact duplicate. Okay? Like a duplicate picture. And they're all made identically the same. So for such an ignorant statement, I have to say I appreciate it, because most of the world turns away from the power of their consciousness based on the fact that they were told that God is masculine, this big Skydaddy, and he's evil and he's angry, and if you don't do what he says, like, none of that is accurate. It's all bullshit, because the truth is, this force within you is unbiased. It doesn't pick and choose. The law works both forward and reverse. And the warnings that were given in the Bible were not about punishment. They were saying, look, the law is impartial. You work for or against the law you choose. When you choose to see something as separate outside of you, negatively, whatever, you choose to be fearful, you choose to whatever, you are working against yourself. This is when all the calamities will happen, right? But those are self-chosen, and they are not a punishment. They're self-chosen. Same thing goes the other way. When you choose the goodness, when you choose to see the highest aspects, when you choose to see the oneness, when you treat everyone as if you would it's yourself, because it is, because you understand that the force inside of you animated your story and created bodies in your image so that you could exist as a separate being and see your consciousness on display. God is quite aware that this is how it works. You must discover this as a human being during your lifetime. Okay? So for those of you who aren't clear yet, it's not a Skydaddy at all. Sky is what the Middle Eastern people of that time used to describe the infinite nature of consciousness. Okay? The reason that consciousness is referred to as a father is simple. It's a symbolic thing. Either a father or a mother. You need them both, yes? Otherwise you don't have a child? Okay, so that's why God said father, because your conscious thought is masculine. It's analytical in nature. It is very masculine. And so that is what he names father. So what he's saying when he says it's not me, it's my dad inside of me, what he's saying is, of my body can't do anything. The consciousness inside of me that is everybody's father, that belongs to everybody, that does the work. You just look at me and give me the credit. So there's no penis. Okay? There's no penis. And I know most of you that are studying under me are quite clear on that, but this video was made for the individuals that don't get it and are still fighting a patriarchal society rather than understanding what the original intention of this message was. Yeah? Hope that helps. Think about what I said. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. Okay, this was not a call anybody out because everybody has felt this way. The reason I have compassion for this poor guy is I felt that way at one point, you know, like where's the feminine in all of this? You know, I understand that. So I can see how he's past life me and I'm not judging him. I just understand the ignorance because it used to be my own. Okay? And I had to make the video because if I had written what I had written, it probably would have come across as an insult, and that's not how I meant it either. So I hope that helps. Think about what I'm saying, understand the design, realize that your body is the veil and the outermost illusion, the tiniest percentage of who you are. Everything you see outside of your eyes, that is your true body. That is your body. It is created as a symbolic representation of your consciousness on display. That's the Father. Okay? Then the Spirit that animates everything, that's the Mother. And the two work together to create the world you think you are seeing. And all of that is you, because you cannot be divided. You only pretend to exist as separate because the part of you that needs to recognize the oneness to become the greater aspect of yourself is still required. So a lot of people, what they fear about the hive mind is they're afraid to disappear in it. If I become like everybody else, what happens to my individual consciousness? I love that. Whether I admit it or not, I really truly love my individual self. And so I don't want to be like, oh, I don't want to join this perfection where everybody thinks the same, because what happens to me, my individual self, right? And so that is an egoic way of thinking because you haven't understood the oneness. Once you understand the oneness, it changes your perception because you will realize that you become a greater, more expanded version of yourself. So that you would still be Alexis, for example. You would still be Alexis, okay? You would still be Christy. You would still be Samantha. Whatever your name is, you are still definitely that, okay? The difference is you are no longer confused about just being this body. You're fully aware that you are the whole universe at once. And when you move, the whole universe moves with you. In love is love reflected. You must be that ultimate love to solve that puzzle. If you are not that ultimate love, you will not see the oneness, and you will remain the veil because you don't know yourself. In this world, the only thing that you are is a combination of experiences that we all share in common, made into a pattern to make the body that you think you are. Cynthia's body is made from the same essence that Christy's body is made in, from Samantha's body is made in, okay? The key to seeing this is this. The door is narrow. The eye of the needle, it's a very thin, you see how they paint these symbolic pictures? because only your Christ mind fits through. You cannot fake this, and you must be aware of your oneness fully, not reject it, realize you're the constant, and then the clarity comes in and you will find the kingdom. Without that clarity, you are still confused about the design. You will never be confused about the design. You will know exactly what it looks like on the other side. You will understand how you are one only by this understanding. So you are reclaiming your birthright. You are reclaiming your power to have dominion over the earth. This was written for you because without this book, you don't know how earth works. So you act down upon it unconsciously. Well, that's fine, because your essence will be added to the collective data, which we will all recycle and use to gather our own experiences. So as you can see, the oneness cannot be helped, cannot be stopped, and when embraced, makes you the greatest version of yourself, because you will be aware that you are source, your spirit will become full, you will need nothing. You will require nothing. You will not care about validating yourself against anything else. You will not care about your desires. Why? Because you have realized that all of it is already you. So that's why you let go. Okay? Now, once you let go, your desires exist outside of you. They're no longer in here. You've completed the circuit. Okay? So you place them out, what appears to be outside of you, it's technically still inside your body. It's the outside part, right? Okay, now once you do that, because you truly let go, because you're not attached to the outcome, because you trust God like an infant, because this is what's required, once you do that, the universe must now act on your behalf and do the getting for you. Hence why the vortex needs not do a thing except understand being the source of all desires, so that it creates the vortex in the first place. And because of your awareness of knowing that you are everything, everything returns to source. And now you have created a unique situation in which you can spend money, consider it circulation, it came right back. So you're never without. Okay? You lose a friend, that's okay. You get 5 or 10 more new ones that are more in alignment with you. You lose a boyfriend, you get 20 more in alignment with the best of the best. So it only keeps improving as you improve. The more you up-level you, the more the world up-levels, and so do your choices. But the only person in here that is responsible for what that looks like is you, the individual. You are choosing. So if you're not choosing to grow, if you're not choosing to understand yourself spiritually, if you're not working on understanding this design, and if you haven't understood what is written in the Bible for you so you can have dominion over your world, you're going to struggle, because now your desires exist inside of you. You haven't detached from them, and you will work for them. But God wants to give them to you. You see the difference? So you're literally being the obstacle of what was already given. God is both the giver and the gift. And very few people understand what that means. But let me break it down for you. Your subconscious is the only thing on display outside of you. If it appears outside of you, you already have it, because the outside is the inside of your body. So the minute you understand that the subconscious gave you something, you will stop, swear on my life, vain affirmations, because it makes no sense to say, my subconscious needs convincing because it doesn't know it. That's ass backwards. I've been saying this all along, because the desire came from the subconscious that already gave it to you. Your heart picked it up and saw it, because you are like this giant warehouse that contains everything inside of it. It just appears outside of you, and your heart is able to read what's in the field when your eyes cannot see. So you already have it. So when people sit here and go, oh, I need to convince my brain, I need to convince my brain, All I'm saying is, not saying it won't work. All I'm saying is, that's like me saying, I need to tell myself that I have brown eyes. I need to tell myself that I have brown eyes. My brown eyes, they're not real yet. I need to tell myself I have brown eyes. Do you see how stupid and ridiculous that sounds? And so we all have to come out of that ignorance and realize that God is both the giver and the gift. It was already given. This is how you can be still and know. It was already given, so I can be still and know. And guess what happens? I get it. I don't have to vainly repeat for anything. My brain gave it to me to begin with. Nothing came outside of it. If it didn't already exist in my brain, I wouldn't want it. So it was given. Do you realize how ridiculous it is to try and convince yourself of what you already are? Instead, you can use your vessel properly and say, oh, my heart is registering what is already there. Now I'm going to behave as if I understood my heart, and I'm going to allow the visible to be made visible by my attitude, by my understanding of the circuit, and I will complete it. And that's how, without worrying, without checking, without going, where is my manifestation will find me, because my desire exists outside of me, and the universe must bring it to me. This is why I detach. This is why I don't hold on to grievances. This is why I don't project guilt. This is why I don't hold on to anything except what's in the present moment. If I felt my friend wronged me, y'all saw what I did. I prayed for my friend. And I prayed for our clarity and our understanding, and right? Okay? Because she is me. I am her. There's no division. So work on this understanding, folks, because the more you get this, the faster your results will come in. The faster your results will come in. Faster your results will come in. And you guys deserve a life that's happening to you all the time. We are literally in a unique situation, in a world-changing event where you guys are discovering your power. And so, yes, I want to undo the 3D ways of manifestation, because I do believe that if you are in this group, you are way more advanced than that, and you deserve to be using the 5D tools that were always available to you. Okay? So, think about all I said. Remember what I said. Consciousness, the reason it was referred to as father is because of the masculine energy. Nothing exists without consciousness. You already have it. The outside is the inside. Okay? You are the veil. You are the outermost illusion of everything that appears outside. But outside is the inside. As above and so below, so within and so without. That's what it's trying to tell you. One is the other. This is the only way to understand yourself as the whole universe at once. You do this, you'll stop desiring things right away because it's you. You get the difference? This is why God doesn't want anything. God is all things already. You are made exactly like this. Once you get this, there's a change that happens. It's a huge change. Everybody's seen the memes. They all are similar. Some is Bob Marley, some is the Rugrats, whatever. But they all say the same thing. When you realize not needing anything is the reason you have it all. That's because you've completed the circuit. And God can now give you what it was already giving you in the first place. Desire means of the Father, which means it was already given of the Father. Your job is to accept that. And remember, the outside is the inside of my body. The outside is the inside. It's not just a reflective surface. So the reason I say reflective surface is because I'm so aware that outside is a multi-dimensional mirror of myself, because I know my true nature. That's why I can tell you that it's a mirror. And I can see how I am the light, and everything outside of that is my reflected image. And this is true in my reality. It's true in your reality. Everybody must know themselves to see that. But it is a multi-dimensional mirror. So the mirror reference still works. But the most important part of the mirror reference is this. You are the source image behind what you're seeing. That's why love is so simple. I don't miss people. They're within me. They appear outside, but they're within my body. You see how my perception is real clear on what actually is? In fact, you guys will appreciate this. I actually can't see from a great distance. I don't know what you call that. Nearsighted, farsighted, what is that? I can't see far away? Okay, whatever that is, I can't see far away. And God said, baby, that's because you see deep in. So your point of perception is way in, infinite light years away from what people are looking at. So you can only see but so far because you have X-ray vision into a person. So you see way deep into the true nature of their soul and not the external surface that everybody sees. You have X-ray vision inside. So you're coming from inside out instead of outside in. And that's why you can't see that far. I was like, oh. I thought I was just getting old. He's like, no. When you went light years away in consciousness and you rose above the world and you saw how everything worked, that should have let you know that you were coming from the inside out, not from the outside in. Hence why you're dyslexia, right? People think, you're dyslexic, but you're actually just seeing right side up while they're seeing backwards. Okay? So, think about everything I said. Remember this. This will change your perception because every time you're tempted to treat something as if it's separate, it's not. It's coming from you. If it came from your eyes, it is you. Period. It's your story that God animates for you. Both the spirit and your consciousness animates this. They work together and in tandem to animate everything in your image. But if it came from your eyes, it is you. That's why, even though this guy irritated me with his stupid comment, I was just like, I had to take a moment. I was like, wait, I was him. I have to remember this. Let me go back down the mountain to his point of perception because I remember when I was down there. Everybody will eventually climb up and get it. Okay? All right, you guys. Love you. Have a good one.